Hey, 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 welcome to my so-called Gen X Life. It is Tuesday night. That means it is time for my so-called book club. Joining me as always is Grendelson. What's going on, Grendelson?
That's me. What's up?
we're repping our schools today. I love it so much.
That's right. Well, also, I forgot. I graduated college 20 years ago this week. So,
well, there you go. Happy anniversary on that.
Yeah, for whatever it was. I can't remember.
Whenever
it was, but it was at some point, during this time period.
Yeah,
it was June of 2006.
I remember
because the kid was born 4 months later.
Oh, well, that's a good way to remember it. I graduated from KU in May of 2000.
Yeah.
So 26 years ago.
And you were a lot younger than me. You were what, 22, 23 when you graduated?
Yeah, I was 22. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was 35.
Hey. That's all right. I went back later and took more classes and almost got another degree, but decided against it. So, but yeah.
I keep thinking I should do that. I should try and get something. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't afford it. What would I do with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's got to be for a purpose. It's not, don't have the luxury to just go learn stuff, and pay thousands upon thousands of dollars for it.
I miss college.
Just go to YouTube. You'll find it.
It's not the same. I miss classes.
I know. It was a good time.
I just saw my favorite professor, my favorite lecturer at UCLA is retiring, and I felt super old because I think he and I were about the same age.
All right. Well, hello to everybody that's in the chat tonight. We are going to be tackling chapter 8 of The Fourth Turning by Neil Howe and William Strauss, a book from 1997. This is about the third turning, chapter 8, which is the turning that I grew up in. Even though I was born at the end of the second turning in 1977, my memories are very few of that time, but the third turning, that was my childhood and my teenage and college years. So, and into my young adulthood. So this is a big one for me. It's a big chapter. So, and I cannot be here for 3 hours tonight. So I'm thinking we're probably going to end up splitting it into 2 weeks because there's so much to talk about. This was such an important part of the Gen X life that I don't want to run through it too fast.
I mean, we're talking our formative years,
right.
I mean, there's nothing more important than the stuff that was going on when we were kids and teens and young,
100%.
Starting into young adults.
And this is where our generation basically was identified and given a name. Before this period, we were just unwanted kids. We were latchkey kids.
We were slackers. We
were slackers, all that stuff.
13ers.
We got from Strauss and Howe.
Yeah.
But we ended up getting our name in this turning and getting our definition. Also, what I'm kind of excited to talk about is that I experienced the third turning as a kid and a teenager, but now looking back on it through adult eyeballs and hearing the description of it from these boomer authors, it kind of struck me a little bit as far as, it's like, wow, that was going on, or that was this feeling at the time, or that, because I was, a little bit too disconnected as a kid. I wasn't paying attention to the culture and kind of the what they call the cultural war here in chapter 8. I wasn't as tuned into that as a kid. So there's so much to go through here. Again, this book was written in 1997. So this book was written in the middle of the third turning. And so they were guessing as far as when it would end. Here they have it in 2005, but when we get to the fourth turning is here, you'll find out that they ended it in 2008 with the financial crisis. So this is a very long turning. It is about 24 years, so it's a little bit longer than most, but you could argue that the seeds were planted and things started to shift at 9/11 in 2001. So that time between 01 and 08, I would argue, is kind of a slow transition from 2 to 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not personally sold on '08 myself, but
Yeah.
I can see where I can definitely see where it is the furthest out for this turning to end.
Yeah.
I think it ended a little bit earlier than that, but
and I don't necessarily disagree with you, because when I first read this book a few years ago, my first thought was 2001, 9/11. That was it,
Yeah, and the immediate fallout afterwards. But 9/11, but it wasn't what we in America experienced on 9/11 was completely different than the rest of the world, and the rest of the world was like, oh, you guys finally joined the club.
Yay. Plus it also affected Generation X very differently from everybody else. It was because we were coming into the workforce, or we were already in the workforce, but we were just getting started, and it hit us at a very, very hard time. And it really, really hit us hard. So, and we'll get into that as we get a little longer into this chapter. But like I said, I'm going to probably I know for a fact, I'm going to pull this out for 2 weeks, because there's just so much to go over, and I don't want to just fly through it. Yeah. Plus we got some videos to watch and things like that. Also, videos. Yes. Also tonight, I will be giving you the word to put. I'm going to be giving away some Nelson books. I mean, this will be our book in the fall, and I'm going to be giving away 5 copies before we get to this book, because we still have to read 13th Gen after this, which won't take long. But anyways, so tonight at some point in the live stream, I will give you the word. And if you put that word into the chat or into the comments after on a replay, you will be entered into a drawing for a copy of Nelson's What Happened to Your Hair by Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. So be on the lookout and listen for that word of tonight. And each week I'm going to be giving you a different word over the next 4 weeks. And then I will draw for the 5 winners. Does that make sense?
And then what do they get if they guess all 5? If they put all 5 words in a sentence?
They'll get 5 entries. So yes, you can enter each week. You can enter once each week with each word, and then at the end I will give away 5 copies of this. It is fantastic. Don't have to kill or murder anyone to get a copy. There's no need for that. Just just put the word in the comment or the chat.
Oh, and be on the lookout for your Nelson trading card that should be coming in the mail.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Awesome. I discovered this. Nelson has 3 cards in that set.
Okay.
82, 83, and 84.
Really?
Yes, I think I got you card number 83, but there is also an unnumbered promo card.
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so
all
excited.
4 of them are readily available on eBay for under $2. So you will get them at some point when I have some more dough. So don't worry about that.
You're so kind.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, we could probably even find unopened packs of those cards to try to search for them, because they didn't sell very well, and they're still out there, and they're cheap as heck.
Teenage girls weren't really into trading cards in 1990, so it wasn't really wrong.
Yeah, it was a
They should have made hair products. They should have had hair products, not trading cards. But anyways, I don't want to get too bogged into the Nelson in the next book, but be on the lookout for that word tonight. And once you hear it, put it in the chat or put it in the comments after the video is posted on the replay, and you'll be entered to get a free copy of Matthew and Gunnar Nelson's What Happened to Your Hair, which is, in my opinion, the best Gen X autobiography I've ever read. So I'm excited.
And you're giving away 5 copies, and that's a pretty. You got the odds are really good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So let's get to it here. The Third Turning by Strauss and Howe, Chapter 8, Culture Wars. beginning in 1984. And I think that's really funny. Good morning. It's Morning in America. Absolutely. And what I think is really interesting of marking this at 1984 as the beginning of the third turning, to me, 1984 is when the 80s started. Like when you get that look of the 80s, you know, like before that, it was all brown, yellow, orange, no brands, you know, like, but 84, Miami Vice, the Olympics, Reagan's election, like to me, the look of the 80s started in 84. What do y'all think in the chat? Would you agree with that? Grendelson, would you agree with that?
Oh, I 100% agree with it. And there was something about 1984 itself, you know, the year because of the Orwell book.
Right.
And
the Apple ad at the Super Bowl
ad that was like brands right there at the Super Bowl, just the beginning of 1984. You know, we had the Olympics in America without the Russians, which was a big deal.
Right.
And, you know, there was patriotism. You know, you couldn't spit without hitting a flag in 84. I'll tell you that. And it really was a feel good time in America. It really kind of felt like we had emerged from the 70s. Finally, the 70s were definitely over by 84.
Right.
And the 80s were well in swing. The early part of the 80s still did feel kind of like 80 and 81 still kind of felt like the 70s.
Right.
82, we started to get a little bit, you know, more progressive and things were starting to change. MTV had started by then because it only started in fall of 81. So by 82, MTV was starting to move forward. 84, we had the first CDs. So we were moving into another world.
Say that the tech started to really emerge with the video games really started to become mainstream. Computers.
Apple,
personal computers.
The shrinking of the floppy disk from the 5 1/4, which no one remembers anymore, to the 3 1/2, which kids today only know as an icon for saving.
I know, which is so funny.
Yeah.
I remember the 5 1/4. We did have those when had my. I'm pretty sure we had it with my Apple IIc, but maybe I just dreamed that up. But maybe it's the Commodore at school.
Yeah, I definitely had 5 1/4 because we had a Commodore at school, but I wasn't allowed to get a disk drive for my Commodore 64. But I also do remember the 8 1/2s. The bigger ones. My mom's work had, or even they think the 10-inch ones too.
Wow.
So yeah, those were crazy days when you're like, you had a 10-inch floppy and it held like a kilobyte.
It's like, why even bother?
I know. Right? It's like, I think the paperclip holds more.
They probably do.
Probably did.
Let's see. Let me find.
By the way, hi to everybody who's in the chat. We didn't say hello.
Yes, hello to everyone in the chat.
You know, without being on YouTube, you can't actually see who's in the chat. At least I can't.
Yeah, screen sharing. Okay, I'm trying to screen share the book here, and it's giving me a hard time. There it is. Boom. Sorry, didn't mean to get caught. I got caught up in trying to find the book, and I wasn't paying attention. So, like I said, we're not gonna rush through this. We're going to just see where the discussion takes us. And my guess is that we will get through like the first part of the chapter, like the generalization stuff. And then next week we'll dive into the pages that were specifically about Generation X, because there's a lot of them. But maybe not. We'll dive into it. Who knows?
We came into our own, you know. That was the time period where, you know, the kids became teens and the teens became adults. And the young adults became real adults. And, you know, started to, I know I worshipped the kids who were above me. I couldn't wait to be 21 and get into clubs or, you know. Started going to bars when I was 17, but that's just, you know.
I worship the kids older than me. I mean, that was when I would watch movies like Can't Buy Me Love or 16 Candles, and they were all very much older than me. They were in high school or college, and I was like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to go to high school. I can't wait to go to college.
Mine was like Risky Business, and Risky Business were the older kids, you know.
Yep.
And then Breakfast Club were my age, literally my age.
That's crazy.
Which was a thing of itself.
Yeah.
So let's not get bogged down into that yet. We're not there.
Nope, not there yet.
It's still morning in America.
It's still morning in America. And it's okay, Joseph, if you haven't had a time to read the current chapters, you'll still be able to follow along with the discussion. I'm very confident of that. So no worries when it comes to not being caught up. We will just roll through this together. I'm going to read some of it to you. So, yay!
Yeah, you don't have to read the book. Let's follow along and join in on the fun.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Because it's morning in America.
It's morning in America. Now, remember in 1984, with this whole morning in America stuff, Reagan did win that election with 49 out of 50 states.
It was crazy. Mondale didn't stand a chance.
No, didn't stand a chance. It was even a touch and go there whether or not he was going to actually win his own state. That wasn't even a given.
Of course, this is November of 84. This is January 84.
Right. So, but I just wanted to I just wanted to say that's where the electorate was as far as the president goes that year. He won by a landslide. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this first couple of pages, and we'll just kind of discuss as we go. Here we go, kids.
Let's do it.
It's morning in America, exuded President Reagan in his State of the Union message on January 15th, 1984. America is back, standing tall, looking to the 80s with courage, confidence, and hope. As California's governor during the prior era, Reagan had stood firm against the consciousness revolution and symbolized the primacy of the establishment. Now he symbolized the defeat of that establishment and the primacy of the self. Reagan detested the rules and taxes and penalties of the very system he ran, and buoyed by the feel-good veneer of the economy and moment, people loved it. From Hail to the Chief to Springsteen's Born in the USA, the national tune had changed. The awakening was over, and people discovered they were comfortable with what America had become. While watching the Super Bowl 3 days before Reagan's speech, TV viewers saw an Apple computer ad in which a young woman sledgehammered an enormous video display of dull-faced vintage 1950s men. 1984 won't be like 1984, proclaimed the voiceover, heralding the supremacy of personal computers over big blue mainframes. The year's 4 digits recalled George Orwell's famous high-era forecast that all modern society would now tremble under a soul-crushing Big Brother. Instead, America smiled at the crushing of Big Brother. At the deepest social level, the awakening had triumphed. And yeah, it was like we said, it was that you were saying earlier how the patriotism was huge. It was like a new time in America. The 70s were over. So
the Cold War, it seemed like for some reason after the 83, day after thing, it kind of seemed like we weren't gonna nuke ourselves at that point, and we were gonna hide because we'd seen what it could happen, and we're like, no, that's not gonna happen. We're not gonna let it happen. And Reagan was like, I'm not gonna let that happen. So,
right. And then when Gorbachev came into power, there was more of an idea of let's figure this out. Let's try to maybe get along instead of nuke each other. The whole glasnost and all that perestroika. So also the Russian definitely changed.
and the Russian economy actually started falling apart too. So
it did. They were in their decline.
They couldn't keep up with the military spending.
No.
And that was their downfall.
Absolutely. That was definitely a big part of it. They tried and they couldn't keep up with it. And we were just like, we're going to print money, so we're going to do it. And and you guys can't do it. And they did, and they ramped all that up. I remember in the 80s, there was this whole thing about going over to the Soviet Union with like Levi's jeans and selling. Do you remember this? And selling them for like super expensive, or like they were like a big commodity.
Yeah, there was a huge in the early 80s and especially before the Berlin Wall fell. There was huge black market for Western goods.
Yes.
Many of which, if you were caught with them, could land you in jail.
Right.
Depending on what they were. Jeans, not so much, but like books and certain music, cassettes would definitely land people in jail, especially books.
Yeah.
That was a huge deal. And there was, a black market. It kind of obviously it fell apart once the Berlin Wall fell and Russia opened up. I actually have a buddy of mine from high school lives in Russia currently.
Oh, really?
And has for like decades. He married a Russian girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
interesting. Does he live in Moscow or does he live in a more rural area?
I think I got to check. I haven't checked on it in a while. Last time I checked, he was in Moscow.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. I would love to hear.
Chris Doss, if you're listening.
Hello.
Hey, Doss, man.
All right.
I'll tag him on Facebook.
Sounds like a plan. The new values regime was no longer controversial. Having accepted the obsolescence of the old civic order, Americans found they could still lead inwardly, fulfilling lives as individuals. During the Awakening, which was the second turning, when the rebels had attacked the fortress, everyone expected that the victors would end up ruling over either a utopia if the right side won or a dystopia if the wrong side won. Now the rebels were inside the gates, the defenders had fled, and nobody knew how the old fortress worked. No one ruled, so it no longer mattered who won. Sensing this, people stopped believing that a fortress of any kind, especially one run by ex-rebels, could serve important social ends. Civic attitudes had transformed into the opposite of what they had been in the high. This is a very big deal. Attitudes from the first turning to the third turning are always opposite. So your first and your third are always at opposites, and so are your second and your fourth. Where America had once experienced what Barbara Whitehead called an economy of abundance and a psychology of scarcity, the nation now had an economy of scarcity and a psychology of abundance. I thought that was a very interesting way of putting it.
Yeah.
It's like we have a lot, but we're gonna be frugal and budget. The psychology of scarcity. We have a lot, we're producing a lot, but we're gonna be careful with what we're doing. And now it was we have limited resources, but we're gonna act like we have it all. So like it's a weird switch that I didn't really think about until I read that. So I thought it was an interesting way to put it. Just a different take on things,
Yeah, I mean, we collectively drank the Kool-Aid.
That we did.
It's kind of what happened. I mean, when it's happening all around you, and you just kind of, and also I was 13 during this year, so
right.
I mean, I saw it happening. I was just like, okay, whatever. I tried to do everything opposite myself. I was like, this fucking sucks. What?
I mean, this was the era where the money printing really took off, and the economy just boomed, and the financial laws were changed for savings and loan and that scandal and all that stuff, and like things were changing so fast in the fight, but they were just the money printer was turned on, and that really you cannot overestimate like how big of a deal that was, that we just started spending money like crazy and printing it. And
I don't remember ever feeling broke in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, I never felt, and as an adult, I didn't start feeling broke until the late 90s.
Right. Yeah, it was easy for us to, our parents had a standard of living or whatever, and it was easy for us to kind of keep up with that, and not, we were still part of the game, I guess you could say. We hadn't been left behind yet as a generation. Like we were able to get jobs, we were able to make money, we were able to, there was a lot of opportunity to, You could just basically walk in anywhere and get some kind of a gig in some way. So, you know, the money printing it feels nice, but it's, you know, it's later on when you see the trillions in debt total and then it's like, oh.
Well, we'll get there. It'll just be a few more years.
Yeah. But yeah, our government had never spent money like it did in the 80s. That was the Star Wars thing and all that stuff. It was a big deal. But anyways, moving on. Let's see. Make sure I got this. Yes, I want to go through all this. Despite the popularity of the president, broad measures of public trust sank to new lows. I thought this was interesting because I did not know this as a kid in the 80s. Despite the popularity of the president, broad measures of public trust sank to new lows. Only 1 American in 5 counted on the president or Congress to act responsibly. Yet polls also showed Americans awash in self-esteem. Not trusting government, people did trust the individual as expressed through the marketplace, cultural diversity, interactive technologies, New Age spirituality, and evangelicalism. The old focus on policies and programs had receded, but the public vacuum was gradually being filled by a new politics of personal rootedness, inner values, and empathetic gesture. That was kind of surprising to me. I had not ever really thought about it that way. Like, people weren't, the trust in government had gone down despite Reagan's popularity, but our trust in like media institutions at this time was around 75 to 80%. So people were trusting the media, but not our politicians, which is very interesting.
The media hadn't been necessarily purchased, bought, and sold at that point.
Right.
You know,
right.
There was still a modicum of what was that thing that we were taught in journalism class? That ethical thing, you know. What is that called? Unbiased. That was it.
Yeah.
Unbiased. Yeah. Unbiased reporting.
Yeah.
That was that thing.
It came across as it, and it was. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree with that. However, there was still people that owned these places that had agendas, that had narratives that pushed.
For sure,
they were the gatekeepers. They were the gatekeepers of information.
But yet, we either there was enough alternate information getting out there, or we just were blindly trusting it. You know, there was still, you know, NPR was still much more robust then than it is now. So there was alternatives to the mainstream. If you know, wanted to, if you didn't want to trust, you know, the New York Times, the LA Times, the Wall Street Journal.
This was also the time of the rise of talk radio.
Exactly.
For the right, for the right side of the spectrum.
Yeah,
and
the lifting of the airwaves when Reagan lifted a lot of the FTC restrictions. You know, they opened. Yeah,
he definitely opened up
Saturday morning. Open up Saturday mornings to be 30-minute cartoon.
Well, that's a big one that we'll have to get into. Yeah, when we get more into the Gen X focus part of the chapter, we'll definitely
started to allow the consolidation of media sources being purchased by larger conglomerations.
That's the big one.
Big one in the because then you started to have all these companies just buying everything. It used to be like, CBS would own a radio station, and they would have CBS radio, but then you know, you have the clear channels of the world and the fairness doctrine. You know, that started to go out the window.
It did, and then in 1996, the Telecom Act that Clinton signed just absolutely just screwed media, just screwed and made it the corporate conglomerates that we have now. But that was definitely done in stages. It started with Reagan.
What are we down to now? 4 or 5?
I think 4 or 5, maybe.
5? Yeah, I forget. I don't know. I forget. What is it? Yeah, Disney, Sony, Amazon.
It's just an Apple.
Apple, Warner, whatever. Yeah.
It's crazy how consolidated. But at the same time, the corporate media has been it's just a big, huge conglomerate. But we have all of the the online media, the independent people, all the independents went there.
I'll tell you what, it also just isn't just media too. It's like there are now corporations that own like everything. You know, I mean, look at Amazon. They own not just, it isn't just Amazon. They own so freaking much.
Right. Also, these are global companies, not just American companies.
No,
so that was a big deal as well. That was a big difference as well. Yeah. All of our media and that kind of a thing was American owned during our childhood. But then as globalism and all that, it became more of a global ownership of our communication and our media. So it's wild. And I don't know.
World we live in.
What'd you say?
So it's such a fun world we live in.
Yeah, it's an interesting time. It is definitely an interesting time. Let's see. Let's get back to the reading here. Let's see. From TV talk shows to dependency groups to church basements, the search for personal meaning started with the direct experience of the individual. These self-discovered meanings were then ratified by others attracted to the individual's own niche group, people whose views had been authenticated by similar experiences. The niche could involve sex, race, religion, occupation, income, even, as with gun ownership, a hobby. As niche groups strengthened, they began erasing old universal worldviews and constructing new particular ones. Any argument or observation coming from the outside the group became suspect because it lacked the torch of pure belief. Every act thus had a meaning, every meaning a right or wrong, every wrong a victim, every victim a victimizer. From one niche to the next, this logic led to different sets of wrongs, victims, and victimizers. Unlike in the high, there was no such thing as normal public opinion. I would say that was like, that's now. Like, we're at the extreme of this now.
It started, but it did start back in that time period.
It did.
When, because the proliferation of home computers, it was a lot easier to get online and find those geeks that were your geeks.
Right.
All throughout that time period, I had friends who were on BBSs and who were talking to Star Trek geeks, talking to Star Wars fans, talking to comic book fans, whatever fan you were, and that stuff only got more and more easy for people to get into as the internet started in the 90s. But it was there in the 80s. It started in the 80s, and it didn't just have to be, you were still, there were in the 80s. I used to attend a monthly group to watch anime. It was called the Cartoon Fantasy Organization, and once a month we met at San Diego State University in one of the big, attendance halls, and we would sit there and watch Japanese anime from 1 p.m. until 10 p.m.
Really?
Yep. I'm talking I started going in 85. But It had been going in the early 80s, and we're talking stuff was not even translated. There was no subs. There was.
I was gonna say I didn't even know anime existed until like the late 90s.
It was so awesome. I did that.
That's cool.
For 5 years. Okay, 5 years of my life I spent in that. I ended up becoming a newsletter editor every month. That was
cool.
Led me to work for the Comic-Con before it got huge. And I still have friends to this day who are from that club. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal, but that was just like one thing I was involved in. There was a lot of other groups that you could get involved with. And
absolutely.
My friends had a laser tag club where they would run around and play laser tag.
Yes.
And they would modify let me tell you, they would buy their freaking guns and then they'd modify them, and they would like pull parts out and make
that's so stuff. Gen X. I love it.
Right? Yeah.
That's great. For those of you that are into anime, over on the Discord, we do have on Saturday night, we do have an anime watch along. So if that is something that interests you, definitely get over to the Discord.
I should dig out my my old newsletters that I worked on because they actually have the schedules in the newsletters. So you could see what we were watching, way back when. We actually premiered Akira in the United States.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, isn't that neat? I had no idea that it went back like your interest went back that far. Like I didn't realize that
I'm
it was a thing over here in the United
school,
States.
yeah.
You're old school. I like it.
Old school. I was watching, I mean, I grew up on Speed Racer and Giant Robot.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
I remember Speed Racer.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was anime. Like I didn't realize, you know,
Speed Racer was 69
yeah.
in Japan, 72 in America.
That's crazy. All right, real fast. Tonight's word, if you want to be entered into the drawing for a free book by Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, What Happened to Your Hair? Tonight's word to put into the chat or to put in the comment section on the replay is Matthew. That is tonight's word. Put that into the chat, and if you do that, you will be entered for a drawing of a free book. Yay.
Once again, the password is Matthew. The password is Matthew.
Very good.
We will repeat it one more time, and then we will never say it again.
That is correct.
Once again, to enter the contest, the password is Matthew.
There you go.
You may also remember it as my middle name, but also it is for Matthew.
Yeah.
Nelson.
That is correct. And just so you guys know, I will be logging all of these from the chat after we get done with this live stream. So I will make sure that you all have an entry that put the word into the chat. So don't think I forgot you, because I always rewatch these a little bit and, try to critique myself to make sure that I do things correctly. So I will make sure that you all have, and then next week I will show you the names that have been entered so far. So that makes sense.
Critique me too.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'll critique you, Grendelson.
Let's do it. I'm down for it.
Right on.
I need some abuse.
All right.
I've been married. It's been 10 years since I was married.
Oh, my goodness.
I need the abuse.
You're silly. You silly. All right, let's keep going. With America thus denormed, the center could not hold. As Senator Moynihan suggested, deviancy kept getting redefined downward. The people who in the awakening had comprised the silent majority of middle America now felt themselves engulfed in Blade Runner chaos and variance. On race, for example, polls showed Americans vastly overestimating the size and discontent of minorities and niche groups and underestimating the size and well-being of the majority. Fed by paranoia, public discourse became more tribal and less cordial with each passing year. Even mainstream Americans began to feel like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. That is, like an embittered minority. National parties weakened, incumbents were derided, and attack ads proliferated. Suspicion began to creep into dealings with strangers, with only 3 people in 10 believing that most people can be trusted. 8 in 10 that civility in America has declined in the past 10 years. As the 1980s ended, personal security became one of America's biggest growth industries. By the early 90s, America's niche group conflict came to be known as the culture wars, defined by Irving Kristol as a profound division over what kind of country we are, what kind of people we are, and what we mean by the American way of life. 3 basic battlegrounds emerged: multiculturalists against traditionalists, media secularists against evangelicals, and public planners against libertarians. The culture wars had as many combatants as America had niches, from the Nation of Islam to the internet. As each group exalted in its own authenticity, it defined its adversaries' values as indecent, stupid, obscene, or a suddenly popular word, evil. I was not aware of this as a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
this to me came later on. This to me came post 9/11. At least my awareness of it. But I see now when they talk about the Murphy Brown and the Dan Quayle thing and that kind, I remember that. I remember the public planners like Robert Reich in the Clinton cabinet, and the libertarians like Charles Murray. So I remember these things, but I did not really understand the culture war as being defined here. It didn't, at that point I was still thinking we all got along.
Well, I mean, there was that whole wave of Newt Gingrich Republicans that
the Contract with America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that really splintered into it splintered the country into a lot of different the niches that they're talking about.
Yeah, I would argue also that Clinton's election did as well from the other side.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I would venture to guess. I mean, I don't remember, obviously, being a liberal Democrat in 92, I voted for Clinton. I was very happy that he won. The country seemed like it was going in the right direction for a change. My personal wealth increased the whole time he was president until the end.
Yeah, see, from the other side of the spectrum, I know that on the right side, it was more when Clinton won was, oh, sweet Christ, what's about to happen? This is awful.
Right.
So,
nothing huge happened, It's like, the worst thing is he had a freaking affair with a young girl.
Yeah, he also signed the 94 crime bill. He signed NAFTA, and he signed the 96 Telecom Act. But he did it with a partially Republican Congress. So,
and the Congress that was pushing him to do it, too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he balanced the budget and left a surplus. So,
I know. I mean,
he didn't get us into any wars,
Well, he bombed Iraq quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he was a
but what president didn't, Right.
I mean, Jimmy Carter didn't bomb nobody.
Yeah, he just got in a tiff with Iran. It is what it is. But it's just interesting to hear the different sides of how it emerged and everything.
Yeah, it wasn't. So. I would say that none of that was really going on in the 80s. That happened more in the 90s,
right?
Especially
and one thing
as the internet exploded.
Definitely, talk radio and the internet definitely really blew up the communication as far as different people. And one thing I did want to point out was that Reagan had an entirely Democratic Congress his entire 8 years, which was kind of surprising when you think about it. You think about it in today's terms, it's like you have a Republican president and a Democratic Congress and still talk and get things done and figure shit out together. But today it would be impossible.
Those guys knew how to compromise.
It was also all previous generations. It was before that was silent NGIs.
Yeah, it was before the boomers came in and lost their fucking minds.
Yeah.
and forgot how to compromise.
Right.
Started, obstruction from shit.
And I think that was a big of a shock in 92 for people on the right and Reagan and Bush voters.
I tell you what, I think the folks that are still in Congress who lived through that time period are still kind of like, why can't we go back to that?
The fact that we still have people in Congress from that time period really hurts my soul.
You're not wrong. You're not. I mean, listen, that you shouldn't. No, you should not be in Congress if you're over 70.
Yeah, agreed.
I will be ageist there. I don't, I won't do it.
How much of the Clinton win in 92 was Boo Bill and how much was losing the White House after 12 years? It was probably a good 50-50 of both, of not liking Bill and being mad of losing the White House. That was a 12-year run of Republicans in the White House. That was
Bush wasn't real popular.
He wasn't.
He was not popular at all. And
at the beginning of his term, he had like a 90% approval rating during the Gulf War. But then after the read my lips, no new taxes thing, and he raised taxes, he just off a cliff, popularity wise. I mean, according to the polling. But he had about a year.
I never trusted him because he was the head of the CIA.
He was the head of the CIA, and I completely agree with you. The whole Bush family, don't get me started. But
I'll say this: I like what George W. Bush has done since his post-presidency. I think he's a great post-president.
Well, Bush, don't get me started on W. All right.
No, we're not talking politics. Remember, this is.
I was going to say I don't want to get too. I don't want to get too political. I want to.
We're commenting on what was going on, and
absolutely.
You have to recognize that the political differences were there. The political differences drove what was going on.
100%.
Regardless of. See, as long as we're just like, okay, this was good, this was bad. No, you just have to recognize, yeah, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
Reagan was president. I'm not going to say Reagan was a great president. I don't believe he was a great president.
Right. I loved Reagan.
I don't believe presidents are great. I mean, I liked Obama, but president is a shitty job.
I agree. I agree. Like it's hard to have a, it's a tough job. It's and being popular is kind of cool, but. I don't know. It is a tough thing. And we are here just to kind of evaluate historically of what was going on. We are not here to talk current politics. I don't want anybody that's, just joining us or new to the live stream. We don't really debate current politics here. That's not what this place is for. But we talk about what was, and we acknowledge what was.
Yeah.
But to be fair and to be honest, I do come from more of a right side perspective, and you come from more of a left side perspective. Yep. Personally, I kind of think that's cool because, it gets different perspectives on things. Yeah. And so, I don't like being in an echo chamber. So I like to hear what, your experiences and things on the other side. And plus I come from a very rural Midwest state. You come from Southern California and Los Angeles. There's very different, but we're both Americans. We're both Gen Xers. And I don't know. I think that's cool that we get different perspectives.
I think anybody who wants to be president ought to have their head extended.
Well, that's true, because I would, oh God.
Oh no.
Thank you, Aaron. You're sweet. But yeah, so I just want to put that out there that
I thought about running. I thought about running for election.
Thought about running
at one point for something. I would start, I thought about, I always, it's like I'm of the belief there are infinite universes and infinite choices. So,
yep.
In one universe, I probably thought about, hey, you know what? I'll run for city council, and then, what if that universe move on? I don't know.
Right. Politics is a rough game. I mean, like say, being president, you're basically, once you get to that level, especially the presidents during the 20th century are pretty bought and paid for. It's a tough gig to get. It's just like somebody getting to be a CEO of a global corporation. The things you have to do, the things that you have to do to get to that level of government or business is just, there's.
I don't want to do that job either.
Right.
I once, talk about forming our own company a couple of times, and I'm like, I'll do COO, but I ain't doing CEO. Frick that. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have unless it was something that was my idea, and I don't have that kind of ideas. That's not. I would more like write a book instead of be CEO.
Right. Yeah.
That's not my kind of leadership. But what I want to do is be like, what I'm good at is like taking orders and then delegating them, which is the COO.
Right.
Level down. So
you know what, Samantha Shoe Lover, at the beginning of our country, this actually
did happen.
That was how they did it. And Washington and Adams were from two different parties, as were Adams and Jefferson.
Adams and Jefferson freaking hated each other.
Yeah.
they were gonna go. There was some blows at some point. Yeah, no, that was
but that was how it was at first.
Yeah. But of course there weren't really political parties back then. There were definitely, back in that day, there were definitely
there wasn't the
there
party
were two ways of thinking. Definitely. Yeah.
And there were parties, like there was like the Whig party, but it wasn't what we know today as the organized corporate entities of Republicans and Democrats. That was not a thing back then.
That didn't happen until after Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. If you're wondering why you keep seeing Matthew in the chat, that's because that is tonight's word. I'm not going to say it one more. I'm not going to say it again. But if you want to win a Nelson book, that's the word you have to put in the chat tonight. So, more mentions. Erber, exactly. And you're right, Edward. Everyone complains about leadership, but no one wants to lead. Leadership is not easy.
No,
it is not an easy thing. And again, the things that you have to do to get to the top in politics, it's just those type of people. They're rare, and it's just not an easy gig. And especially as large as our country is now, you know, a different animal back in the day when our country was a lot smaller, but now with it being so vast, having one leader and he's really a figurehead. Really, it's not like he has any huge amounts of power according to the Constitution. Like, he does, but there's the executive branch, and he does have power, but he's also quite a figurehead as well. It's not like he's, you know, like that person is that doesn't have the power of an emperor or a king or a dictator or things like that. So Matthew is a good name, I agree. But leadership is difficult. Leadership is difficult. And there was actually a big fight among our founding fathers about that role and whether there should even be one, be an executive, have a president, and they settled on the branch and the president, vice president. But anyways,
have you been listening to the History That Doesn't Suck podcast?
I haven't, but it's on my list of things to do because you've mentioned it before, and it sounds very, very interesting.
Oh, it's great because it starts pre-Revolutionary War. I mean, so it goes all the way up into the modern age because they've done a couple of 100 episodes by now, but it starts pre-Revolutionary War, and like it's 5 or 10 episodes before the war even starts.
Wow.
So, you know,
that's cool.
They really, you learn so much about the founding of our country, and it's amazing how much of it is still relevant.
Yes.
So that's a History That Doesn't Suck podcast. It's on everywhere you look.
Right.
Yeah.
Any wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, wherever you get your podcasts. I don't know these things.
Yep.
I'm not I'm like the one human being who's never had a podcast.
I know. Yeah, everybody has to have a podcast at least at one point in their life.
Well, I think we should turn this into a podcast. This is the Gen X podcast.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Podcast every week, you know.
Yeah. I could possibly do that. I'm doing some things with the channel. And yes, Aaron, you're right. If I'm going to have a word, there has to be a Pee-wee clip. I'll have to make that happen for next week. You called me out on that. You are so right. And I really dropped the ball there.
You're not wrong.
Yep. Everyone
has a podcast. I think that was Everyone Has a Podcast was actually the title of the podcast, wasn't it?
Really?
I don't know. Oh, I do know. Oh, there was a movie. Everyone Has a Andy Dick story.
Oh God!
And guess what? I have an Andy Dick story.
God. Let's not go there.
I didn't say I was going to tell it.
Okay, good. All right, back to the book, and then we're gonna watch a video clip. We'll take a break and watch a video clip.
Nelson?
Well, you know, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. One thing I wanted to say about my channel, for those of you that don't know. No.
I was there. It was horrible.
Yeah, Tuesday night live streams, book club will stay, but the Friday night live stream is being moved to Discord because I can't play any music or TV shows or movies or anything without just the YouTube gods coming down on me too hard. Yeah, so if you want to go to if you want to be part of the Friday night live streams, you're gonna have to join my Discord. The links are all over my channel, and I can put another one in here in the chat before we go. But yeah,
it'll be more fun on Discord.
It will be. But this Friday, I will start on YouTube because this Friday, I will be unboxing my silver play button, which is going to be here tomorrow. Yes. So Friday night, I will start on YouTube for about 20, 30 minutes, do the unboxing of the silver play button, give out the Discord link, and then we're going to move over to Discord for the actual stream. So
Nice.
I'm also going to be branching out to other sites. I'm looking into Twitch. I'm looking into Patreon. I'm looking into Rumble. So I'm looking into a bunch of different sites and trying to start maybe multi-streaming on different places. So we'll see. So thank you all for watching, for subscribing, for sharing my videos, for joining my live streams, for commenting in the chat and all that good stuff. I super appreciate it. You guys are great. And thank you, Grendelson, for joining me on the Tuesday night book clubs. I really appreciate it.
It's really fun.
Yes, and also the channel memberships, that monthly live stream will remain on YouTube as well. However, before I started this stream tonight, I created a new private room over on the Discord just for channel members. Ooh. It's a new perk of being a channel member. And after our monthly member live streams, we're going to go over to our private room on Discord and watch a movie or a TV show together. So that is a perk for channel members on the I've Got 5 on it level. So
hey,
doing some big things, expanding.
Nice. Look at you.
I know.
Look at you building a brand. Oh my God.
I'm trying.
It's like you went to college and everything.
I have an education. It's true.
You got an education?
Oh I did. God. I got one.
Me too.
At the university and at the penitentiary. So, I'm a very well-rounded individual.
And I got to tell you something. That's another niche video that you could tap into. I know for some reason, my algorithm comes up with them every now and again. There's prison stories out there. I considered doing that before I started my so-called Gen X life. I considered doing a channel focused on post-prison life. Yeah.
Because but I just decided to not do that.
Yeah.
I wanted to move on in my life. I wanted to get.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
I acknowledge it, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and maybe one day I will do a video about it, like just my experience and what happened, but I'm not there. I'm not
very highly rated, but do it when you're ready,
Absolutely.
Do it on an anniversary, like 20 years,
Yeah.
Hey, by the way,
this August will be 15 years since my arrest. So,
wow. We'll see. So 5 years from now in August.
Yeah. Probably that will be when I'm ready for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see here. The new lexicon of the culture wars allowed America's post-awakening ideals to be elevated into ideologies. In the 94 election, voters split more ideologically than ever in the history of polling. Meanwhile, growing numbers of Americans either declared themselves independent or chose not to vote. Voting behavior gaps widened between genders, races, religions, generations, and especially between those who had children and those who didn't. Leaders who sought to assemble niches into coalitions met with little or no success. Old political alliances lay in ruins. This was very interesting to me.
Yeah, parents were not. That's one thing. People who were parents in that time period, especially around the mid '90s, were not looked upon very well by non-parents. And that's when helicopter parenting started to become derision.
Yes.
And from those of us who weren't parents, because I was 23 in '94, I wasn't a parent, so. I was looking at the people who were and watching what they're doing to their kids, and I was like, nope,
right.
Right. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So,
definitely. It was one thing I did want to mention, and we have met, and I mentioned this in an earlier stream for book club, but Generation X has voted for the presidential winner in every election that we have voted in. Yeah. So we did vote for Bush in '88. We voted for Clinton in '92 and '96. So I did want to throw that in there, that our generation did vote for Bush in '88 and Clinton in the '90s.
And that '94 election, that was the Newt Gingrich,
that was the Contract with America election.
Yeah, that was the one that set the tone for the next 4 years. We saw what they were going to do. They laid their agenda out. They, played it to a T. And
it was the first time in decades that the Republicans had been in charge of the House. Let me ask.
That's true.
Let's see.
since 72, I think.
How long were the Democrats?
Because Nixon had Republicans in the first term.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But then he.
Oh, here we go. Listen, this is what Google says. The Democratic Party held an uninterrupted majority in the U.S. House of Representatives for 40 consecutive years from 1955 to 1995, and in the U.S. Senate for 28 consecutive years from 1953 to 1981.
Right.
So, wow.
Right. So then in 82, Reagan had the Senate, but not the House.
Right.
And that was the first time that they had a
Republican Senate
Congress.
A split Congress in decades.
Years.
Yeah. So that is a lot to, it's a lot to take in, but to think that one party had congressional power for essentially 4 decades, but at the same time, there were more Republican presidents during that time.
Right. You had Eisenhower. Then you had Nixon.
Right. I mean, except for Kennedy, Johnson, and Carter, they were all Republicans. You had Eisenhower, Nixon, Ford, Reagan, Bush, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know my presidential history. And the funny thing is that
I know I know. I can do it. I can go through to about the 20s.
Yeah.
Once we forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Once we get back into like Benjamin Harrison and all that 1888 election, that's about as far back as I can go. Well, but I get things confused. I forget
who's president. I'm like, what year? Okay, who is president?
Right. Yeah, it can get very
like post-war,
Right.
It was Lincoln and Johnson and Grant. And then I forget after Grant.
Yeah.
And I forget everybody in between. Oh, I don't know, John Quincy Adams and Lincoln.
Yeah, totally. I get them totally confused.
None of them are totally important, except I know, William Henry Harrison was in there somewhere.
Yeah. And then you had
Tyler too, and Polk.
And then you had Grover Cleveland, who had the two separate terms.
Right. That's
Benjamin Harrison in the middle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was in the 1880s. So, yeah. And I learned that from the Disney movie, The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, which we watched on Discord last week. That Disney movie from 1968 is all about the 1888 presidential election. And that's how I learned about the Electoral College and everything. So that Disney movie.
Is Kurt Russell in that one?
Yes. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn is in it as well. It was her first movie role. And
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn were in that movie?
Yes. They were. That's where they met, but they didn't get together until 10 years later. They met, but they didn't really meet, if that makes sense. Like they didn't.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I can't wait to tell my mom and blow her mind.
Yep.
Because I don't think she's watching yet, but if you are, Mom.
Yep.
There you go. You just got a really good fact about
the movie is The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band.
Movie.
Yep, 1968.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Buddy Ebsen, John Davidson, Leslie Ann Warren, Walter Brennan. So yeah, it's a great film. I love it.
Leslie Ann Warren.
All right.
So hot back in the day.
Yeah. John Davidson was hot too. Like they are so beautiful in this movie. It's ridiculous.
I love watching, but it was one of the last, seeing how beautiful that everybody was back.
Yeah, but it was one of the last movies that Walt was a part of, because it came out after his death, but he was part of it in the production process, and it's a Sherman Brothers movie as well. So, which is a big deal. So the guys that wrote Mary Poppins music and all that. Yeah, I streamed the movie on Discord.
Disney Legends.
Yep. Over on the Discord, let me get you guys a link.
Because God forbid you'd stream it over here.
Yeah,
you'd be like, you'd have to
just so you guys know,
down and backwards.
Yeah, over on the Discord, I can stream movies, music, TV shows, all of that, and there's no copyright police. It's a private server. where I just hang out with people and watch movies and TV shows and we talk Gen X stuff, you know? So the link is in the chat. And you can link, and if you're a YouTube member, you can link your YouTube account to your Discord and then get special access into the private rooms for screenings.
Discord screenings are live. They're not recorded. So if you want to watch it, you'd have to probably find it on. I would guess it's on Disney Plus.
Probably. Let me see where to watch the one and only genuine original family band. It looks like you can pay to watch it. It's not on any streaming service for free, not even Disney Plus. You have to watch. You can watch it on YouTube, Amazon, or Google Play for $3.99 is the rental fee. But yeah, like when I stream on Discord, you have to be there for the stream. Like it's not going to sit there where you can just watch it at any time. That's the downfall of the streaming.
Yes, it is live, not Memorex.
Oh, and where did I stream it from? I have my own copy. Anytime I stream anything, it's my own personal copy of something. Which, for those of you that were asking, my previous video that came out, the Gen X 90s movies, a lot of people were asking about PCU because it is not available for streaming anywhere. You can't even buy a DVD of it at this point. Well, I got a copy of it. So I will be streaming PC. I've streamed it before, but I will be streaming PCU again. I do movies on Monday nights. So if you guys want to come and watch PCU with me in the future, come and hang out at the Discord. So yeah, I stream all my personal movies.
Now I'm checking eBay.
Check it. See. Yeah, definitely see if you can find it.
I am, because now I'm like, oh, it's not available. Oh shit!
It's a really hard movie to find.
Love that movie.
Yeah, because I can't
my watch
stream
item for frickin' Nelson right here.
I can't stream anything from
Nelson
a streaming.
Staring me in the face.
Well, good. They should.
Sorry.
Nelson's right here next to me, so always on this channel. But when I stream something on Discord, I cannot stream it from a streamer. Like I can't play a movie off of Netflix or off of Disney Plus or Amazon Prime. I have to stream my own copies of things. So if that's what you're asking.
And you have that 26 terabyte hard drive.
I have a 26 terabyte hard drive. And I only have 2 terabytes left. I'm going to have to get a new one at some point.
That I believe. Wow.
Jeez Louise. Man, that's
I know, right?
Crazy. What did you fill it with?
Every TV show and movie that you can think of from the past 30 years.
I would believe that. I mean, listen, I have backups. I have a whole bunch of digital comic books.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have a lot of physical comic books too.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in.
That's
storage.
awesome. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just trying to collect as much as I can because, you know, who knows if the internet goes down or if the, DVDs are no longer sold. Like I got to collect as much as I can while I can.
Yeah, I'm still not there.
Yeah.
I appreciate. It's like with books. I love books. I love books. I love having a library, Me
too.
But the older I get, I swear to God, I have so many books. I lug them around with me from apartment to apartment. I'm never going to reread them. What am I doing with all of these books? And and so I thin them down, and then I forget I have that book. Do you know how? Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move on.
You see what I am? I'm moving on. Right. I know when I'm spiraling.
It's all right. In The Awakening, the system had looked corrupt from the outside. Now it looked that way from the inside, too. Lacking a central direction in civic life, Americans began searching for it in narrower spheres. Despairing over the numbing complexity of what Cornel West calls a decaying civilization, Americans avidly began talking about new ideals of total social cooperation and trying them out on small scales. For many, these ideals fell under the rubric of growing communitarian or civic Republican movement dedicated to reconstructing public life from the bottom up. For others, they grew out of spiritual cosmologies, from evangelical rankings of angels to New Age numberings of planetary houses. Americans everywhere were mesmerized by visions of a universal moral order that they comprehended within themselves. Meanwhile, 9 of 10 people agreed that there was a time when people in this country felt they had more in common and shared more values than Americans do today. So, you know, I and looking back now, and I can kind of see it definitely in the 90s, how we were starting to niche out. We were starting to disconnect.
Yeah.
And splinter. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
And you know, there was the dawning of the insular movement, you know. I mean, we think, you know, I see kids today with their headphones and their AirPods, and they're looking at their phones and they forget, you know, you forget shit like that. We were like that in the 80s.
That's
headphones
true.
on, you know, headphones on. I was headphones on, Walkman, you know.
Yeah.
Either and the radio or the cassette, and then later Discman, you know.
Yep. And the algorithm has sent this to the again the extreme. So we're seeing so many seeds planted in the 80s and 90s for the extremes that we are experiencing now.
Yeah. And that's when it started. We started to see what was going to happen in the future. It's like movies like Blade Runner saw what we were going to happen, you know?
Right.
It's like,
and it's almost like niches are even dwindled down to just really the individual. Everybody has their own algorithm. Everybody has their own world. Like it's wild.
We all have our own Animal Crossing islands.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, can a society function like that?
I don't know. I have Animal Crossing, but I've never played it.
You have, what was that?
We have Animal Crossing on the Switch, but I've never played it.
Never played it?
I've never played Mario it either. Kart. I don't know what else is on there. I have no idea.
I haven't played a video game since GoldenEye on the N64. Oh, wow. Well, in college. That was my last video game.
I went from Atari 2600 to a TurboGrafx 16 back in the day. To the Switch.
Wow.
That is quite the progression in between the TurboGrafx 16 and the Switch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I had
July 4th is 2 weeks away, people.
Yay!
No, the fireworks have already started in LA.
Nice.
No.
I have my house decked out. No. Red, white, and blue, baby.
Well, that's fine. More power to you. I mean, yeah. Hey, look what I got. My kid got me this over the weekend. I got me a Seeds.
Cool.
A sucker candy in a tin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's the tin for the kid. How neat is that?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Isn't it? It's so cute.
I love that.
He said it was the last one they had. Yeah, he got me sugar-free butterscotch, which are really yummy.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
They are yummy.
I like it.
So yeah.
Yeah. So for the upcoming for the live stream that I'm doing on the Friday on July 3rd, which the night before the 4th, I'm going to do a special live stream. We're going to dive back into 76, the spirit of 76, and we're going to go back to the bicentennial.
I was there.
Yeah, it was right before I was born, so I wanted to kind of go back and look at America.
I was this many.
Yeah,
I was this many in 1976. Yeah, I was this many. I remembered the ships.
Yep.
And I remembered the coins, lots of coins.
Nice.
And I remember red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. You had Intellivision living in Japan in 1981.
Oh, nice.
Nice. My first gaming console, we got the Atari 5200 for Christmas in like 82 or 83, whatever year that was. And then my brother got a Super Nintendo later on in the 80s. And then I got a Nintendo 64 when I was in college, but only... like I said, I only played GoldenEye. That was the only, and that kind of, I had to stop because I was missing classes at some point. That music still gets me to this day.
My roommate had a 64 and he had GoldenEye, but I was never good at it. I liked to play Mario Kart and Star Fox. That was my favorite.
Gotcha. I was a GoldenEye
bringing
girl.
Star Fox back for the Switch too.
Oh.
I don't have.
And then I got when I was in college, I was gifted a PlayStation 2.
Ooh.
So I had that, and then I had a Nintendo Wii for a minute. But then I wasn't really into it, so I traded it for an ounce of pot.
And then you spent 5 years in jail.
And then I spent 5 years in prison.
All because of Nintendo's damn Wii. All Nintendo's fault. They should have stuck to making Foom whatever cards they are.
So yeah, that's my gaming history.
Oh, by the way,
yes.
I just looked. There are over 100 copies of PCU on eBay, with prices as low as $10. There is actually a double feature of Airheads and PCU in one set.
Well, I'm gonna have to go buy it then. Because I haven't seen them on eBay in a minute. The last time I saw them on eBay, they were like $50.
No, they're fairly cheap.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to get a copy of PCU, eBay is the place.
Yeah. Now some of them you gotta make sure they're the right region. But yeah, there's like a PCU Airheads double feature that's like $20.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
All right. All right. I need to take a potty break real fast.
All right, go ahead. I'll vamp.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be right back, guys.
Thank
you, Grandelson.
Yeah, no worries. Actually, I played every one of those systems. Atari 2600, I played in television. I played the ColecoVision. My buddy had that. I played the Vectrex. If anybody ever had a Vectrex, that was freaking cool. I still want one. And then I went to TurboGrafx 16. Video games. Not a big video game console person. I'm like the arcade mostly. And I love pinball. Pinball is my jam. Love me some pinball. If I could go out right now and play pinball, I would. But I can't drive because my hand is still messed up. Because when I broke it on March 26th. So I haven't driven in like 3 months. It's kind of bumming me out. I saw the mini Vectrex. I do want to get that. And I've seen it. I can't afford it right now, but I saw it. I'm dying to get it. Those guys and the Vectrex community is really cool. There's a pinball place on the west side of Cincy, huh? That's awesome. There's a bunch of good pinball places out here finally. And then there's the Pinball Museum in Vegas, which is amazing and free and has every pinball machine you could ever think of. Actually, I want to go. Yeah, I'm missing pinball and I'm missing bar trivia too.
Ooh, bar trivia. I love bar trivia.
So good. I love bar trivia. And I was looking last night about bar trivia near me, and guess when most of the good bar trivias are near me?
When?
Tuesday nights.
Of course.
I'm like, can't I find one on a Monday or a Wednesday or a Thursday? They never have them on Fridays and Saturdays because who needs to have?
Well, yeah, they want to pack the bar and they're earlier in the week. Right, yeah.
Right. So annoying.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then we're gonna watch a video, and that's gonna be it for tonight.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes, and then next week we're gonna dive into the actual, really Gen X focused part of the chapter where they talk about. I know we probably should have done more of that tonight, but I'm on a little bit of a short schedule tonight, so.
Hey.
But we'll talk a little bit about it.
It's always next week, and we can go as long as you.
Exactly. Because I want to get into
the Mellow Book Club.
Because I really want to get into the whole, that how we were marketed to, how the cartoons and how and all that stuff. Because we did tease it last week, and I don't want to.
Yeah, we're not gonna short shrift that.
Yeah. I don't want to. We're gonna go through this as much as we need to.
We are the MTV generation, and we gotta remember.
Yep.
Trapper Keepers.
Trapper Keepers. I love my Trapper Keepers.
Fuck, man.
All right.
You look at the prices of Trapper Keepers lately?
The prices? Well, I haven't. I didn't even know they were still around, to be honest with you.
prices of vintage trapper keepers are so bloody expensive.
I bet. And I really wish I'd have kept mine.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you can get a brand new one. You can get them, but they're not the same.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're not the same. They say they're trapper keepers, but they're not.
Nope.
You know, no, you look up a vintage trapper keeper. The first one I had was blue.
I think that was what mine was. It was
blue,
just a plain blue one that just said trapper keeper.
The green, and the blue.
Yes.
Three inside. It had a pocket, and it came with a thing of paper.
Did yours snap close, or was it Velcro? Velcro. That's what mine was too. They were only snap closed for a very short time. Then they changed to Velcro.
Short time. Yeah. I think that was like the first generation.
It was, yeah.
And then because they touted going to Velcro, that was a big deal. That was that was the new and improved.
Velcro trapper keepers and Velcro sneakers.
Yeah, I had both.
Did you?
Sure.
Nice.
Oh my God, Velcro! Oh, yeah, I should get some more.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron had a blue trapper keeper as well. Samantha, Lisa Frank. I never got into the whole Lisa Frank thing. That missed me somehow, and I don't know how. But I watched a documentary about her, about Lisa Frank on, I think it was Amazon, and I was like, how did I miss this? Like, what? I guess I was so into baseball cards and basketball. Like, I was so into sports at the time that I missed. I think
Lisa Frank, I want to say came out mid to late 90s. I missed
maybe
it
that's
too.
Why. Okay,
and,
maybe that's why.
I had no clue, even though I'm an ardent follower of pop culture. I had no clue who really she was until the mid 90s. But then I worked for a company that licensed images for debit cards. Oh. And we licensed Lisa
Frank debit cards.
And oh my God, they were extremely popular until they were our number one until we did My Little Pony.
Oh my God. Yeah. Of course they were.
Me, myself, I had a Star Trek one. We licensed Star Trek too.
Oh, wow.
It was awesome. Yeah. We licensed a lot of
That's cool.
Yeah. That was a fun time period. But yeah, that was Lisa Frank. It missed me too. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how I did it, but I just totally missed it. But the timing was just that I just totally missed it. All right. By the mid-1990s, pundits agreed that America was deep into a new era of lost purpose and shattered consensus. Robert Samuelson called it a fragmenting, commentary, a balkanization, Thomas Byrne Edsel, an era of bad feelings, and William Raspberry, an unraveling.
Yeah.
So, and now again, we're at the extremes. We've even talked about, could we see more balkanization in the fourth turning, or in the crisis, and more fragmenting, or will our country survive and be able to be cohesive? And that's kind of where I was going earlier with everything being so individualized and everybody having their own algorithm. We're so disconnected from each other in a world where we're supposed to be more connected than ever. It's bizarre. And I don't see how I don't see how we get through
the tribalism that really started in the 80s and worked its way through the 90s with body modification became a big thing,
Yep.
That really started to explode this just hyper tribalism that we're going into now, to the point where it's no longer, like you said, it's no longer tribalism, it's oneism.
Yeah.
A lot of it's a lot of masturbation online,
Yep.
It's just not, sexual in nature.
Yeah.
Balkanization, haven't heard that word since the 90s. You haven't been in our streams because we've been talking about that for a while. I think we talked about it last weekend too.
Yeah. I always bring it up because it just seems like it's a possible thing for where our country's headed. Yeah. No, I don't think it will, but I don't think it's off the table. We're going to go through something crazy here in the next couple of years if this theory holds up, and if this goes the way we think it's going to go, something crazy big is going to happen over the next couple of years, whether it be a total national cohesion or a total just bust up. Something's got to happen to get to the first turning. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I would personally like to think that we've already seen the worst of the fourth turning, because that's a possibility. You know, maybe the pandemic was the worst of the fourth turning, and it's just been, you know, we just been kind of hovering over that, and
well, I guess that's possible too.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, if we look at it, if things go more positive, if we can manifest things moving more in a positive nature over the next couple of years and avoid this, you know, whatever crash or whatever ending to the fourth turning is obviously coming. If that can be avoided, wouldn't that be more optimal? I mean,
it would be.
I mean, I know I would much more appreciate it. You know, I would definitely take a look and see, yeah, the pandemic really sucked. You know, we weren't in a good place. We didn't handle it very well. No one listened to anybody, and it was stupid.
Right.
You know, on every side of the fucking coin, it was just a bad, you know, it was bad all around. And if that was the worst of it, then yay, let's be happier people. Listen, I'm just trying to be more optimistic.
And I totally appreciate that. And I don't I don't disagree with you. It'd be great if we could do that. Right? History tells us that.
Oh yeah, no, it's not.
That's happen. Probably not going to happen.
No, I know. Listen, I'm smoking the hopium. All right, let's say what it is. It's hopium.
Absolutely. It's all right. It's cool. But yeah, it's
we are both wearing blue tonight. I came on the stream with my UCLA jersey, and then Nat had to change to rep her school. So
Rock Chalk, baby.
You did actually plan this.
Yeah, these aren't political colors. These are school colors.
Yeah, it wasn't much planning. It was
right. It literally happened 20 seconds before we went live. So
yeah, then we forgot to go live.
Yep. And I agree with you, Samantha. It's you know, and something has to happen in order to mitigate what's going on or end it and get us into the first turning. I just historically it's been a great war, and
I just hope
it is what it is, you know. But we do love the hopium. Okay, now remember this book was written in 1997, so we're gonna get a little bit of where they thought that we stood in 1997. Now half over, this unraveling has darkened the quality of American life in ways no one ever predicted. Looking back, Americans can see 1984 as a threshold year when several new trends emerged that defined the era to come. That's true. We talked about that earlier. At first, these items seemed no more than passing curiosities. By the mid-90s, however, they became overwhelming and seemingly ineradicable features of American life. In 1984, the electorate decisively endorsed an economic policy of large deficits, unchecked growth and entitlement spending, falling national savings rates, and heavy borrowing from foreigners, amid talk that this riverboat gamble would either cure the economy or force policymakers to reverse course. A decade later, fiscal excess had become a political way of life, and sluggish productivity an economic fact of life. And again, we're in the extremes of that now. Like, just the constant spend, like it's just a given that we're going to have huge deficits. It's a given that we're going to have this massive spending that we don't have the money for. It's just a given. Like that wasn't a given before the 80s. This just massive amounts of spending. So we've always lived in it pretty much. And yeah, it's just a fiscal excess has become a political way of life. It's all about how much money we can spend and not much. And it's never about, and they want more money to spend. The governments just want more money to spend. Like we want more taxes. We want more loans. We want more borrowing, more printing. And it's never about, going the other way ever.
You're not wrong.
Let's see. I'd like to go back to the Friends days, discussing stupid stuff instead of Crisis After Crisis. Boy, that'd be nice.
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Alien invasion. That's probably going to be what it does. That's probably going to be the Great War of the Fourth Turning is the alien invasion. I don't disagree.
Man, I hope my recurring alien invasion dreams aren't true, man.
I hope not.
They aren't good, man. I'm telling you. Oh, man. They aren't good. I dream that they, land off the shore in California. And
well,
I've seen way too many science fiction movies, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to have to watch like Terminator 2 and The Matrix on the Discord. That'll be fun movies to watch.
Dude, oh my God. I watched today a Jim Henson TV show from 1969 called The Cube. It is Matrix. This thing was amazing.
Wow. And from Jim Henson?
From Jim Henson of the Muppets. It's live action. It's not the Muppets.
Really?
And yeah. But it has people who were in the Muppets, surprisingly enough. Huh. And it was filmed in Canada. It was aired on NBC twice. And it is something to behold because it was so far ahead of its time.
Wow.
And it's, a dude is locked in a cube. People keep coming in and out, but he can't leave. And he has to figure out.
Where did you find this? What's it? Where'd you see it? Was it on a streaming service or YouTube or?
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Okay. On YouTube. Where did I find it? Okay, so there's a Muppets meme going around on Reddit this morning.
Yeah.
And it was the Muppets iceberg. And I looked at the very bottom of the Muppet iceberg and it said The Cube. And I'm like, The Cube? The 97 movie because I was just looking that up the other day. That's weird. So I looked up Jim Henson The Cube and I'm like, oh, that's not it. This is that looks interesting. I'll find
There's a reason it was at the bottom of the iceberg.
I know. But it was like amazing and it goes right into The Matrix and what is reality. And it was 1969.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out.
Shit. I'll try and find it real quick and post it in the chat.
Definitely do that.
I will.
All right. So, let's see.
And then they go into a whole bunch of 1984 at the beginning of 1984, and then they go down. There's that is 2 pages long.
Yeah.
How many times they do that?
Yeah. Well, I'll let everybody kind of dive into these chapters on their this chapter on their own for next week. If you have any questions about things, just remember at the third turning, we were the nomads. We were replacing prophets in young adulthood. They become brazen free agents, lending their pragmatism and independence to an era of growing social turmoil, is how they described it in the book. And you sent me a video that we're going to watch now. It is of one of the real world cast members, one of the earliest real world cast members, talking about Generation X and at that time period. It's off of CBS, so I am going to have to pause because I don't know if
super long too.
Yeah, it's super long. We're just gonna watch the first few minutes of it where he talks about that. But this is Judd Winnick, who I believe was on season 3. Yeah, I believe the San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah. 92?
9, yeah, which would have been 92 or 93.
Yeah.
Because the first one came out in 91. So yeah. So this is Judd Winnick. Let me bring it up. And let's talk a little bit about video. We're bringing in the video cart. And we'll listen to a little bit about his experience. He's an older Gen Xer. I believe born 67, 68, somewhere in there. So, of course, all the real world cast members were, older Gen Xers. Oh, thank you, Grendelson, for adding that link. I appreciate it.
I got real upset when I aged out and I couldn't apply anymore. I wanted to be on. I've actually met like 5 cast members.
Crazy.
From the real world, yeah.
And politics aside, we currently have a real world cast member in the presidential cabinet. So I just want to throw that. I think that's insane. Awesome in a way that we have. It's a Secretary of Transportation. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Sean Duffy.
Right.
He was
I didn't watch it. I did not watch that series.
Yeah, he was in. I think he was in season 7. His wife was Rachel Campos Duffy. She was in season.
I remember
3.
her. Yeah.
Yes, everybody remembers Rachel.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. So
San Diego.
Yeah. So
I saw her on the beach one day.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do have a current real world cast member as a current cabinet member. I did want to bring that up.
Listen, Mike Mazanian is still doing it in wrestling.
Say that again.
Mike Mazanian is still doing it in wrestling. He's on WWE every freaking
really
week. Yeah, he's the Miz.
Oh,
he's probably
He's gotta be okay. It's still going strong.
He's younger.
But still, I mean, he's probably got to be at least hovering around 50. I would guess. So anyway, let's listen to what Judd has to say about Generation X in the 90s and being part of the real world.
I want to sort of begin in the middle with, before we talk about how you found yourself on the real world.
45, okay.
What was your life like before the real world?
Oh, it was deeply typical. We grew up middle class, just about middle class. I went to public school in New York. I lived in the suburbs. Had a nuclear family, mom, dad, my brother, and a dog. And in so many ways, I'd say really, really typical.
One thing that we didn't talk about in this chapter, because it was very politically focused, but was the changing of the family in the 80s and 90s. Yes. The divorce rates, the single parents, and how that really
of the nuclear family was a big deal.
Yeah, and that really started to accelerate in the 90s. It started in the in the 80s, but really accelerated throughout our childhood, definitely.
Until what it is today, which is like
yeah, I know. So I did want to mention that since we hadn't brought it up yet in the third turning, but definitely the third turning was the breakdown of the nuclear family.
I don't know if you'd call it atypical.
Judd Winnick is 1970 born, by the way.
Oh, 1970. Okay, so he's a little bit younger than I thought, but still OG Gen Xer.
My age.
He is heart of Gen X, just like you are. I love it.
Just a part of our lives always. My folks were not, I don't want to trash them. They were not big readers, but they were news hounds, and we got 4 newspapers to the house every day and magazines. Everyone was always reading.
Did you guys? Did your parents read a lot? Like, were they book people? Were they readers?
Yeah, my dad, both my mom and my dad were huge readers. Both all my grandparents were too, and I am as well.
Okay.
At some point we all worked in libraries,
Okay.
Reading and books were big in our household. And
what about education? What about education levels? Did you have any college graduates in parents or grandparents, or did?
Yeah, both. Both my mom and my dad were college graduates. My mom has her master's, but she didn't get that until she was older. My paternal grandfather had his degree in engineering.
See, you are definitely the minority here, because having boomer parents or silent parents that had college degrees, especially 2, that was rare, because the percentage of degreed people from those generations were in the the 20% range, if that, depending on the time period in that time. But my parents were high school grads. Neither went to college. I was the first person in my family to graduate from college, and we weren't big readers either. My parents weren't. I was a big reader because the book program really got me into reading. But they were news people. My dad more than my mom, but they were definitely news people, and would consume the local news and the newspaper and things like that. But as far as like reading for fun or like expanding that kind of knowledge horizons, not big readers, but they did definitely consume a lot of media, but just books wasn't as big of a
no,
thing.
my parents instilled that love in me super early. It bothers me to this day because my eyes are not good enough to read physical books much anymore. So I
Yeah,
do most of my reading online. It's not the same. So
right.
I just have to grin and bear it and get a new prescription. But
Yeah,
my dad was he would always be reading. He loved reading history. He loved reading science fiction, mysteries.
yeah.
My mom is a huge lover of mysteries to this day. But my dad was an English major. My mom was an English major, but then she turned to psychology.
Right on.
I'm an English major.
Yeah.
So
My parents were both
yeah.
entrepreneurs. My parents were business owners, always have been our whole lives. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that from the time that they were out of high school, they were,
Yeah.
You know, starting businesses, running businesses. So that's where their kind of focus lied more than, you know, like expanding any like or continuing any kind of education post high
Yeah.
school. Not, you know, not that they were stupid people, but like it just,
Yeah.
you know, they're different priorities as far as, you know,
Yeah,
life goes.
I was expected to go to college, but I wasn't expected to necessarily go to 4-year college. They were like, you know, community college is fine. You know, whatever. You're not going to be able, we're not going to pay for it. So you're on your own. You know? Like, okay.
I was determined to go to college. My mom was very supportive. My dad wasn't against it, but he offered me. He even said when I was 17 years old, before I went to college, he said, because college was going to cost all in for 4 years, you know, around 40 to 50 grand when it was all said and done, between tuition, books, room and board, food, all that stuff, you know. So my dad said, I would rather give you $50,000 to start a business than go to college. And he offered that to me.
Wow.
And I said, I want to go to college. And now I wish I'd have been like, I'll take the 50 grand and start a business.
Yeah. Well, that's hindsight is that
hindsight is 2020
killer, isn't it? Goes along with nostalgia. Hindsight, nostalgia.
Yep.
A recipe for
yep.
disaster.
But I would have been too stupid to do anything good with it at the time. So
exactly.
You know.
I went to San Diego State straight out of high school. I paid, but my mom was working there, so it wasn't much. And I got grants. I got a Pell Grant, which is funny because I know a guy named Pell. His last name is Pell.
Shut up.
And my first question was, so Pell, as in the Pell Grant? He goes, yeah, it's like my cousin, like my dad's uncle or some stuff like that.
Oh, so, yeah. Wow. He was actually connected to the origin of the Pell Grant. That's fun. That's fun. How crazy is that?
My friend Haven. Shout out to Haven. He actually has been watching these, I think.
So. Oh, nice. Hello, Haven.
Hey, Haven.
Yep. College is expensive.
College is, yeah. So but I got a full-time job on winter break. And it was at a hotel, and I was making damn good money for how old I was, and I did not want to be in college. I was 17, and I did not want to be in college.
Right.
I was like, I want to have money and party.
Gen X was pushed so hard to go to college. Like it was so much a narrative of the time of. You know, they steered us away from vo-tech schools or trades and you know, you want to go to the university, you want to go to college, you want to get your degree, you know, you don't want to.
And my high school was very competitive because I mean it was like, where are you gonna go? And if you didn't go to like at least a UC school, you were like scum. You know, it's like if you went to a state school, you know,
that was another thing.
Very
state
few
school
community
versus
college.
Private. Yes.
You know, we had, like I said, we had like 100 people in my class, and we had a couple of Harvards, a couple of Yales,
wow,
we had an MIT, Princeton, you know.
That's a whole different world from where I was.
A lot of UCs. So,
I went to a public rural high school, and out of a class of 200, I would say probably maybe 40 kids ended up going to some type of college, maybe 50. Wow. Some type of university, and it was almost always public, like Mizzou or I went to Kansas, or people would go to Illinois or whatever. It was almost always public universities. I actually went to Baylor my freshman year, so I did go to a private school my freshman year, but I transferred to KU because I was just too far away from home. But yeah, it was just.
I wasn't far enough away from home. I was still living at home.
I was 15 hours from home, so I had to.
That's the one thing I did not get the traditional college go away, live in the dorm,
right.
Be a freshman, be a sophomore. I did not get that experience. I did community college. I transferred into UCLA as a junior.
Yeah.
I was married with a kid on the way,
Yeah.
And went to one basketball thing. I didn't go to any parties. It was a different time period.
Very different. Yeah, we had very different
missed it. Now, my first semester at San Diego State, I tried my hardest. I really tried my hardest. I went to frat parties. I was actually what do you call it? There was a frat that wanted me to join, and I was like, maybe. And that was the whole thing, and I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to work and make money because it was it was going to be the 90s, and the 90s
right.
were like, I was making too much money as a 17-year-old. I was making too much money, and I didn't have to pay rent really. I was still living at home.
Yeah, that was man. Those were the days. Yes, the path was high school, college, grad school, marriage, family. That was what was pushed on us, and
yep.
And unfortunately for the ladies, by the time you got to the whole wanting to get the marriage and family part, it was like, wait a second, we forgot some things along the way. I was supposed to think about that a little bit before I was 35, but anyways. But yeah, it was definitely, and I got a journalism degree. I worked all through college. I'll show you guys a video of myself working in college in 1997 at the very end of this stream. Because I do have that. I do have myself working in 97. So, but we'll watch a little bit more about Judd here. One more thing I did want to say about this turning. And I think we probably said at the beginning, but I've been smoking some pot, and I don't know if I remember if I did or not. But This was the era, 1991. William Strauss and Neil Howe, their book Generations, was the first to really define Generation X. They gave it the 1961 to 1981 definition, and then we got the name from Douglas Copeland's book. But this was the time when we got our name and our definition. So all of you out there that are like, Generation X is 1965 to 1980 because Pew Research said so in 2014.
Yeah,
I disagree with you. This is the era where we were defined, and I will, if I had to choose a definition between Strauss and Howe, between Pew Research, between Harvard, which is 65-84, I would choose 61 to 81 Strauss and Howe. I think that's a fair point. And as we get into the Generation X part of this chapter, they are really big into the early 60s babies being part of Generation X because they talk about the college grads of the 80s. And that's, of the early 80s and 83, 84. And that's early 60s babies. So that definitely affects their writings and their theory here on that. So there you go. So let's watch a little bit more of Judd here and hear his Gen X experience.
But we watched a lot of TV and read a lot of newspapers, magazines, and I read a lot of comic books.
We're both members of Generation X.
Yeah.
How do you think that experience, which is one that I think if we polled, 10 Gen Xers, they would say 8 out of 10 of them would say, that's all we do. We watch a lot of TV.
Yeah.
We were influenced by TV. We're influenced by the films that came out in that era. And when we weren't watching TV, we were just out and about and doing crazy things that our parents didn't know what we were up to.
Yep.
But how do you think being shaped by television as a child, as a young man, prepared you or didn't for ultimately what has become reality television?
I think for us, TV was a constant. I mean, we didn't, I think everyone knows we didn't have computers. We didn't have smartphones. We watched a crap ton of TV. We listened to a lot of music, a lot of music. We read things. And
a lot of music.
all of those things just sort of feed
Reading
into
magazines while you're listening
what
to
would be
music.
reality TV when it's
Say that again.
Reading stuff while you're listening to music.
Yes, definitely. Just having it on in the background.
Yep.
Yeah, it's your background life. Yeah, Eclectic Deb, I would agree that early 60s babies, it comes down to self-identification. If she considers herself a late boomer, then that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
But there's other people that were born in 61 that you can call a Gen Xer. It really depends on self-identification and your personal experience.
Michael J. Fox is 61.
Yeah, and I would consider him a Gen Xer.
And most people do.
Yeah. So, it's so, when you're on the cusp like that, it's the same thing happens on the other end of the spectrum. People born in 1981, 82, some consider themselves millennials, some consider themselves Gen X. So it's when you're on the cusp like that, that's why you can't have any real hard definitions, but you just have to have a range. And generally speaking, I think the range of 61 to 81 makes sense. If you were raised on television like this, if you were at the mall, if you were listening to music and driving around with your friends and, a latchkey kid, that's a very Gen X thing. But there's some people that were born in the early 60s that may not have had that same experience, had more of a boomer experience. So there you go. There you have it. And there you are. And yes, we were freaked out about sex. Boy, were we
God,
ever.
yes, we were.
Chris,
it was really, really sucked because, AIDS started just as I was hitting puberty. And all of a sudden it was like, you believed it too, because you didn't know it was going to go on. And not only that, I mean, I knew quite a few people in the gay community and started watching people die.
Right.
And
VD became STDs and everything. It was just, they definitely scared us, which is the premise of a great movie called A Good Old Fashioned Orgy, starring Jason Sudeikis from 2010.
That is a funny movie, yeah.
It's so good. That was the premise of the movie, is that we were all raised to be scared of sex, and the movie's really great. Chris, 1976 would be you are a Gen Xer. You are a Gen Xer. However, you are right on the cusp there of possibly being a Zennial. It just kind of depends on your personal experience. I was born in 77. I consider myself a Zennial. I consider myself part Gen X, part millennial, just because of my experiences and because I was a teenager and a college student in the 90s as opposed to being a teenager in the 80s. So it's where you think you are, but you are 100% Gen X for real. but you might have a sprinkle of millennial in there. You just and or Zennial, and it's up to you how you want to do it. I consider myself like 70% Gen X, 30% millennial. My brother, born in 79, would be more like 50-50. But it just kind of depends on your personal experience. But you're a Gen Xer. You're a Zennial. All right, good deal. You're a Zennial. I love it.
At Samantha Shoe Lover, the movie the band played on is super good.
Oh yeah, it was an HBO movie.
Super good. So many good people in that movie, and if you have not seen it, I would highly recommend it. It's some of it's a little overblown, but if you really want to learn what happened, mostly true, watch that movie.
Yeah. Right on.
And it's honestly, it's mostly about finding what it is in the first place.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I'm gonna stop myself.
Okay.
It had to do with a certain doctor that was in charge of things for 50 years in our government. So we'll move on.
Probably good. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's watch a little bit more of this and then we'll wrap it up.
Started. When we look at reality TV when it started, like it's a TV show, regular people living their lives, we're on the box, and it's moving along quickly, all that jump cutting and lots of music. I mean, that was kind of what my teen years felt like, jump cutting and lots of music and moving fast. And that's what it became.
Yeah. What made you want to be a part of the cast of The Real World?
Oh, I tried out for the real world because one, I was a fan of the show and I loved TV and I thought it'd be fun. I thought it'd be cool. And I was broke. That was a real big mitigating factor. I had just lost a gig. I was 23 years old. I had moved back in with my mom and dad, which is the dream of every college graduate. And I'm watching season 2 of Real World Los Angeles, and they put up an ad. You want to be on Real World 3 San Francisco?
I remember
I'm looking at myself sitting on my parents' couch and said, yes, I think I'd like to try that.
And you've seen the first 2 seasons already.
Oh yeah, no, I was a fan.
Yeah.
You were a fan.
First 3 seasons, I watched every episode of the first 3 seasons.
I watched every episode of like the first 7 or 8.
First 7 or 8.
I got pretty far into it. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. I watched it a lot.
Really super into it.
Yeah, 95 was when I graduated from high school, and so that's kind of when I kind of separated from it and didn't watch every episode. I still watched it, still watched episodes, but I wasn't like watching every episode.
Remember when they would do like a whole weekend and they would just they would play every episode for the whole weekend?
Yeah.
That was the best. They would
That
just
was
do
cool.
that, and they did that often, you could just like turn it on, and like I would turn it on and get ripped or whatever, and just
Yep. And you're right, Anna. We did graduate into a lot of the earlier Gen Xers definitely graduated into recession in the early 90s, in the Bush years, and even in the early Clinton years. But it definitely got better. Like by the time I graduated in 95, it was better. But I was in college, so by the time I graduated college, the .com bubble had hit, and then a year later we had 9/11. So it was very up and down with economics for us. Recessions and booms very quickly.
I was lucky because I was in San Diego for most of that time, and the economy in San Diego at that point was almost recession proof because of the military, and especially when we were during the when they would be there and when they would come home, it would be very good times.
Right.
Up until after, it was way after the .com boom bust.
Yeah.
Finally, when the economy in San Diego started to take a nosedive.
Right.
That's when I left. I gotta go. I can't get a job. I gotta go. Came up to LA and I had a job within a month.
We'll watch a little bit more of this, and then I'll show you where I was at in 97, and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
What did your parents say?
My parent, I want to tell some great story that like they thought it was a crazy idea. They thought like, what are you doing? What is this about? No, they thought it'd be cool. They thought it was a great idea. And,
you're gonna be on TV.
Oh man, that's living the dream here.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Right.
And it took 6 months of auditioning, and I didn't have a plan B. So they were kind of along for the ride. Like every couple of weeks, I'd make the next round. Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm trying out for the real world. So they had a chance to get kind of excited about it as the reality got closer.
Did you guys want to be on the Real World in the 90s? Was when before we knew what reality television really was? Like, did you guys have any desire to be on the Real World or Road Rules back in the 90s? Let me know in the chat. And I will be, like I said, I always rewatch the streams. So I can focus on the chat because I miss a lot during the stream. So I always rewatch. So let me know your experiences in the chat. Let me know if you had any desire to be on Real World or Road Rules. If you maybe you tried out for Real World or Road Rules. Already had babies. That makes sense. Or Survivor even. Yeah. Did you try out like when it was in the early days? Well, yeah.
I just met people and talked to them who were on the show.
Yeah. That's pretty cool too.
I had a long conversation with David Edwards from the second series who got kicked off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I talked to him for a while. And then Sarah from the I can't remember what episode. She was the skater girl from San Diego.
Okay. Yep.
She was at Comic-Con. She was working for Todd McFarlane. And I talked to her at Comic-Con. Same year I met Kevin Smith.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about being in Southern California, especially your whole life. Like you have so many opportunities to connect with
I legitimately have stories for days. I worked with Tony Hawk on a video.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
How cool.
It's on It's on YouTube. It was for MTV.
Wow. How
I'll
neat
tell you.
is that?
Yeah.
That is
2000.
super cool. All right, guys.
2000.
2000. I'm going to show you guys what I looked like in 1997.
Ooh, 97.
Ooh, I know. I was a
That was such a good year for me.
junior. I was a junior at the University of Kansas. I was also a television sports reporter at WIBW, the CBS affiliate in Topeka, Kansas. And I covered the Chiefs, the Royals, the Jayhawks, KU Jayhawks, K-State Wildcats.
Nice.
And I also went out to some high school stuff as well in Topeka and Lawrence.
And that was you mentioned this before. Wasn't Marcus Allen on that team? Joe Montana.
Yes.
Was
Yeah,
Joe Montana
Montana
still
was
there, too?
gone. He was
Okay.
he was already gone. Marcus Allen was still there, but
Yep.
he wasn't really
Derek
talking to me yet.
Thomas was still there.
Derek Thomas was
The late
there.
Derek Thomas.
Mm-hmm. I think Elvis Gerbach was the
And then
quarterback at the time.
was Bo still on the Royals? In
No, Bo was gone by then. Yeah,
Who was on
and
the
then Marty
Royals?
Schottenheimer was the coach of the Chiefs at the time.
Yeah.
I actually got to party with because I got to go up to Wisconsin for their summer camp in '97 and partied with the team in Schottenheimer. I got to see Schottenheimer get just smashed drunk. That was fun.
Oh, I bet. Schottenheimer.
All right, guys.
Who was on the Royals back then? Do you remember, real quick? Anybody on the Royals you remember?
Nobody that I really remember. Those teams were not the best of teams.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, and I was such a Cardinal fan that I just didn't pay much attention.
It'd be like I was wearing an Angels shirt earlier today, even though I know the Angels suck. I'm still it was clean, and it'd be like if I had to cover a Dodgers game,
Yeah.
Like I go to Dodgers games. I go to Dodgers games in my Kings gear.
Nice.
Yeah, compliments actually.
All right, here is me in '97, guys.
Woo!
I know.
Baby Natalie.
In the spotlight.
Hold on.
Natalie gets to be in the spotlight New Year's Eve. That's great.
Usually I was a reporter, but this night I had to sit in as an anchor.
Well, Kelly's out of the game and didn't post, so.
And Michael Bishop in the spotlight tonight.
Man.
He looked great
It was
tonight.
the Michael Bishop show. It was
National TV.
wonderful. It was great. Well, there are a lot of reasons to celebrate tonight if you are a K-State Wildcat fan. Reason number one, it's New Year's Eve. And reason number two, the Cats had a great night in Tempe. As seen right here on CBS 13, K-State took on Syracuse in the Fiesta Bowl, and the Cats were too much for the Orangemen to handle.
That haircut came from a movie called Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, I love that movie.
She cuts her in one of the timelines. She cuts her hair off into this cut, and that's where it came from. And I also
I like movies. I love movies like that have like two different timelines.
Me too.
And that mess with you. I love those.
Yep, I love them too. I love that movie. And I also had a thing for wearing scarves around my neck.
Love that collar
K-State
too.
took the field in front of thousands of screaming Purple fans, and they had a lot to cheer about. Syracuse actually got on the board first. They were leading 3-0 when Wildcat quarterback Michael Bishop.
This is the '97 Fiesta Bowl, in case anybody's wondering. It's Kansas State versus Syracuse.
Found Darnell McDonald in the end zone for 6 points. That catch capped off a 76-yard Wildcat drive, and the Cats were up by the score 7-3. On the next K-State drive, Bishop decides that he's just going to keep it all to himself. He goes 12 yards and crosses the goal line for K-State. The score is 14-3 Cats, and that was Bishop's 10th rushing touchdown of the year. Next, the Cats defense decides they
just so you all know, as the anchor, you have to write your scripts and you have to edit your videos. So I wrote everything I'm saying, and I edited all the clips that you're watching.
Damn.
More points for the Wildcats, and at that point, they were up 21-3. They go on to win 35-18.
I had a teleprompter, but I'm sorry.
No, so they gave you all the footage?
Oh yeah, you have feeds. You have all your network feeds of all the stuff. And you pull your feeds and you cut your video. Mm-hmm. Wow. And I read a teleprompter, but I also had a written script on my desk.
1/2-inch tape?
Yep.
Nice.
Believe it or not, there were other bowl games today. In the Sun Bowl, Arizona State topped the Iowa Hawkeyes 17-7.
Did you do the chroma key too?
And in the Liberty Bowl, Southern Mississippi
No, I didn't have to
took
do
it
that.
to Pittsburgh 41-7.
Well, I had to give them what to put on there.
Well, it's been quite a year in Kansas sports. We've seen everything from bowl games to interleague baseball to an NCAA tournament game. Here now is a quick look at some of the moments.
Oh, shit.
Of
Remember when
1997.
interleague baseball was a thing?
That was the first year of it. Mhm.
Oh my God. Now it's like, what?
I know. Sorry, go ahead.
Found out they have the DH in both leagues now. I'm like,
I hate it. That's why I stopped watching baseball. It makes me.
but
I hate it so much.
I do like.
I miss my National League.
I know, but you know what? I do like this new strike thing because it's making the umpires work.
Yeah.
The umpires are working so hard right now.
Yeah, I know. I like a little bit of the human element in it. I don't like too much tech, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. There's some that are like, there's one guy who's like strike zone was like 6 feet off, and
oh yeah, and I agree.
Like, he had his like 33 calls back in a single game. Fucking come on.
Yeah, that's true. Believe me, after the 1985 World Series, I was all in on instant replay, and I called for it for years. So I was all in on instant replay, at least for the postseason. But it was a lot of work, and I made $7.50 an hour, which was $2 more than minimum wage. I was doing big things.
What, in 97?
In 97. Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, I can't tell you because I got laid off from my job at Price Club in January of 97, and I was making, at the time, I think I was at $27K.
Yeah.
And so they handed me my severance package, and I'd been there for 5 years. So that was like 2 weeks for every 6 months or some shit like that. I don't know. It was a really fat check. And, and so I paid my rent for a couple of months in advance and proceeded to fuck off for the next 6 months. And had the greatest summer ever.
I bet.
At 26 years old.
Now, granted, I was making $7.50 an hour. However, I did have a station car to go to all the games, so I didn't have to pay for that. And then I also got free tickets and passes to everything that I went to. Yeah. And so there were some perks to it. But yeah, that's where I was. Here's what I normally did, which was sideline reporting.
But I came out this week, helped to win this game, and it feels real good.
Today's game marked the last time the KU seniors will play in front of a Memorial Stadium crowd. But even though this was the last home game, there's still 2 games left, and these KU seniors know that all they have to do is win at least one of those, and they can end their college careers in a bowl game.
So, anyways, I'm not going to bore you guys. I'll show you a Chiefs story, and then I'll stop. Let's see, which one is it? Here we go.
I've seen those guys. You should watch them. They're cute.
Here we go. I'll let you watch the whole story. I had to go to the games, shoot the footage, write the script, and edit it all together when I got back to the stadium.
And you got to go to the locker room and see naked
men.
Yep,
in the locker rooms, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was 19 years old, just so you know.
The perfect game is something every NFL team would like to play, but it very rarely happens. However, today when the Kansas City Chiefs took on the 11-1 San Francisco 49ers, it was as close to perfect as it could get for Kansas City. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 blocked punt, all added up to a big day.
You know, I've been through a lot of games and a lot of perfect games, but I think this by far, beats all of them.
God shined on our team today. We were truly on one accord.
Whoever had the Chiefs defense in fantasy football did really well that day.
Say that again.
Whoever had the Chiefs defense in fantasy football did really well that day.
Yes.
And yes, I was playing in 97.
Yeah. Nice.
I started playing in 90. I did it in
really?
pen and paper. Yeah. I had a fantasy football league in 1990.
That's amazing. You were an early adopter of many things, Grendelson.
It was fun. We had a good time.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
And, we only had 1 turnover today. And when you do that, you're going to have success.
The 49ers defense started the day ranked first in the NFL, and they had a red zone defense that allowed only 11 touchdowns all season. But today was a completely different story. The Chiefs scored a total of 44 points, including 4 red zone touchdowns. This offensive output all came with backup quarterback Rich Gannon at the helm.
We're not surprised at all by what he's done. We give him time. He's able to make plays and make some great decisions today.
That's a locker room interview right there. You can tell that he's standing in front of his locker. The Schottenheimer interviews would come in the press room that they had just built.
Now it looks like he has multiple microphones there. So is he?
Yes.
That's more like he's just talking to the whoever's there. You're not basically interviewing him one-on-one.
Right. Basically after the games, all the reporters would go into the locker rooms, and then you would go to the different players that you wanted to ask questions to. And then if you started talking to somebody, usually 2 or 3 more reporters would come around next to you and try to get their sound off of your question and then ask their own questions as well. So yeah, I'm in there with probably 4 or 5 different reporters. Only female, by the way. I was the only girl in the whole entire locker room at 19.
Oof. Oh man. And I bet the boys really did want to talk to you too.
They did. They really did.
I bet they were like, oh, I want to talk to her.
Yeah. I got asked out more than once.
I talk to you every week, Myron. It's the same thing. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to told you last week. The team played good today. We really had it going. We were all in sync. God was watching, okay?
Exactly.
I'm going to go talk to her.
We did nothing to hurt ourselves.
The high number of points on the board was also a result of the play of the offensive line. They consistently won the line of scrimmage all afternoon against the NFL's top defensive line.
So we always have a tough challenge, and anytime you can run the ball and take advantage of some certain situations, like we're getting the ball in our territory and scoring, you got to be happy about that. And we were.
The Chiefs' defense stood tall again today, this time against the NFL's best team. They allowed the Niners to score only 9 points, and today's game was the 8th straight time they have not allowed the opponent in the end zone in the second half. From Kansas City, I'm Natalie DePriest, 13 Sports.
Sports.
And there we go. That was me in 97. That's what I was doing back there during the third turning.
I was having way too much fun.
Yeah, between going to school full time, I had about 15 hours of classes, and then working full time. I was working 40 to 50 hours a week. That's kind of probably why I was kind of disconnected from what was going on in the world or the cultural and political climate. Thank you, Anna. But yeah, that's what I was doing back then. And I have a bunch of different other ones. I have another channel called Natalie's VHS Vault, which is basically just all of my old home videos and stuff I recorded off of television. I got boxes and boxes of VHS tapes, and whenever I transfer something over to digital, I'll put it up on that channel. So. Nice. And I also have myself from, let's see, because I did this in high school as well. We had a TV station at my high school, and it started my freshman year, and I did a sports show back then too. This was 1990. This was 1994, and I was 16. So. Yeah,
I can't prove on that because
look at
I was
the
23.
flannel.
I would have been like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was during the time where the generation was very split.
Yeah, no, would not have talked to you. No.
Yep. Got you subbed to the ball. Awesome. Cool. I'm wearing my flannel. Yep. And the guy next to me is now the principal of our local high school where we went to high school. So he's the principal.
Okay. But the most important question is, how's that hair? How's his hair now?
How's his hair now?
I need to know.
I haven't seen him in person in a few years, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I'm not 100% sure. Probably much thinner would be my guess.
That is your mission for the summer. I would like to find out. Just tell him.
I'll get a current photo of Derek and see what I can do.
Well, wait, he's the current principal?
Yeah, he's the current principal of our high school.
What's the name of the high school?
Farmington High School in Farmington, Missouri.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, he's probably on the website. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look and see. Let's see here.
There's also one in Farmington, Connecticut, apparently.
Oh, yeah. There's Farmington, New Mexico, Farmington, Connecticut, Farmington, Missouri.
I put in Farmington. Okay, Farmington R7 School District Home.
Yep.
High school. Okay, there it is.
Let's see. I see all the teachers and the assistants and the. We're gonna find it. Dang it.
You were so evil.
What? Okay, I got a tiny photo of him, but I can't get
down,
it.
Little Joe.
What's happening?
Calm down, Little Joe. He's hitting on you.
Oh, yeah. No hitting on me, please. Yeah, Derek is it's a tiny picture, and I'm not trying to out who he is. I've already done enough. But he has the same hair. It's not thinner, but it's completely gray. So there you go.
But it's still there?
It's all still there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not.
I know.
Jeez. That's amazing. Mine is gone. I just have stuff in the back.
If I had a bigger photo, I'd share it, but all of his information is right next to it. So yeah, I can't really show it. So
I mean, it's on his public website. But,
yeah, it's on the school website. So if you really want to know,
we're not doxing him. No.
Right.
Well, I just wanted to know if he still has that beautiful hair.
Yeah, he does. It's just all white.
Well, listen, the color don't matter.
Right. Really, in fact, it's all still there.
You can always color it. I mean, really. I wouldn't. I just don't.
Yeah. My gray has come in really good. I still obviously color my hair, but it's a constant battle of whether I should just let it go naturally or if I should keep coloring it. And
I'm watching my kiddo color his hair every other week, and it's like, and then like he starts to complain it's feeling weird. I'm like, well, it's because you're putting massive chemicals in it.
Yeah. Be careful doing that kind of stuff because you could really damage your hair.
I'm just, I'm putting some oils and shit in mine.
All right, guys. I know we didn't get too far into this chapter this week, but I still think we had some really good conversation, and it's very interesting. It's just really interesting to look at this time of the 80s and 90s as an adult, after experiencing it as a kid. So I love it. And next week we are going to dive into the last part of the chapter where they talk about on the actual book. It's on page 233 where it says 13ers entering young adulthood. So it's going to be all of that. Yeah. And I was thinking about maybe touching a little bit on the boomers, but I think I'm going to skip that and just do Gen X and then maybe touch on the millennials.
I mean, we don't need to know about the boomers.
I know we've talked the boomers to death, but maybe do a little bit on the millennials at the time that were the kids.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. I mean, they were kids, but
yeah,
they were kids watching Power Rangers and
right. Yeah.
I don't know much else.
Barney. Was Barney? I don't know. Yeah. Let's stick Gen X. We'll definitely, and then we'll wrap up the chapter with toward the fourth turning. Now, remember, after we get through the third turning, the chapters about the fourth turning are all prophecy. Well, they'll do some history about prior fourth turnings, but it's all their prophecy and their guesses about what would happen in the fourth turning. And that's really what we're reading this book for. And is because we're going to get to see, based on their theories, what they thought would happen in the fourth turning and when it would happen. And it's going to absolutely blow your mind.
and then we get to the fourth turning, and whatever's left of your mind just crumbles into a cupcake filled
it's the reason. It's literally the reason that I started this book club was because of the chapter about the fourth turning prophecies from this book. That's why I started this and read Generations and then got into this and everything. So it's going to be the next couple of weeks are going to be really great for book club. And then in about 3 weeks, we'll be wrapping up this book, and then we'll do a special week on the fourth turning is here. And then we'll get on to 13th Gen, which will take a couple of weeks. And then we'll get into Nelson. And
don't forget about the Nelson giveaway, but we're not telling you what the word was.
Yep. You got to have to go back and watch if you want to.
You have to rewind. What was it, about an hour ago?
Yeah, about an hour ago.
Yeah,
So,
rewind or rewind the chat. Look for that word. It's it's a word.
There is a word that you need to put into the chat, or, well, if you're watching a replay, put it in the comments. There is a word, and if you put that word into your comment, you will be entered into a drawing for a free book from Matthew and Gunnar Nelson's What Happened to Your Hair.
Now, are there any caveats? Like, do you have to live in the U.S. or, are you going to opt for overseas shipping if somebody in Japan?
That's a good question. I didn't even think about that. I tend to keep my stuff to U.S. and Canada, but if for some crazy reason there is a 98% of my audience is U.S. and Canada, but if somebody does pop in there that's international, I'm not going to get mad about it. So I thank you for watching and wanting to get a book. So
konnichiwa, o genki desu ka?
Nice.
That's what I learned in my Japanese class in my first semester of college.
Nice.
That's why
I took French. I took a lot of French and never took Japanese.
I actually failed that class. I could not get it. And I tried really, really hard.
Hey, do or do not, Grendelston. There is no try.
Oh man, I got yoded.
You did. You got yoded. All right. Great way to end. Thank you so much for the wonderful conversation tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching, for entering into the book giveaway. Please, like this video, send it to your friends if you know somebody that would be interested in reading this book along with us. And we will see you back here next Tuesday to continue chapter 8 about the third turning. Bye, Grendelston. Have a good night, guys. Okay, bye.